Hey all, welcome back to another Less is More 2, run 2. Uh, we're going to continue working with the cake farm, trying to get that up and going. I made some changes. I was having all kinds of problems with the thermal expansion pipes. They kept kicking out buckets because the problem with the easy crafters, automatic crafting bench, is once the buffer was full, the empty buckets had nowhere to go and they would just shoot out. So what I ended up having to do was doing a vacuum chest to suck those up. So it became overly complicated. So I went and I took a look at the enderIO crafter and decided to go with these instead. They work a little bit better. Of course, they do require power. Kind of one of the downsides to enderIO. I think pretty much everything requires power, but no big deal. If we got power, we're not using too much of it, really, except for farms and some processing here and there. Most of our ore processing right now is being done with the calcificator with the botania kind of ore creation. So what we've got now is these are a little bit better. You can see it keeps a buffer in here. And the neat thing is when we come over here and this creates a cake, the buckets don't shoot out. They're kind of held in a buffer also. So as soon as this cake leaves, those empty buckets go in here. And so what I've done is I've configured it to say it pushes the cakes out over here, because of course it's the only place it can go. And then I've got a push-pull down here. So it's pulling in this stuff just to make sure, and really you don't need that push, the pull. And then the push also goes out, so it sends the buckets back over into the crafter over here. So this is a little bit better than, well, actually it's a lot better, honestly. The other one was all kinds of messed up with the retrieval nodes, and because the retrieval nodes don't seem like they work through the filters and whatnot, which they should. They're supposed to. It's supposed to retrieve, I think, despite whatever's on the other end. But I was having real problems with that. So this just is a lot cleaner and a lot neater. Now, the problem I'm having here is this is pretty efficient. It works really good. But the real problems I'm having are with the farms. We'll go over and take a look, but I'm just having real problems. The Ventium, if I use a obelisk with Ventium, it just goes through that Ventium like crazy on a single farm. Now, if I add 3 farms on there, it just kills it. So I added some celestial prisms over there to see if I can do it passively. 3 of them will handle a single farm, but the problem is that a lot of times when I come back over to the overworld and I go back over there, the battery is just completely drained, like it hasn't even been working. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. So this I may be going over, and I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll probably go over and change this to dropping buckets on a cow, you know, the old botania way. But it's working really well. I've got 2 stations set up so far, and we'll go take a look at those as soon as I sleep here. And let's go down. So you can see we got 2 of these stations set up, and it's aimed at the mana pool here. You can see they're not running right now. It is completely automatic. If we look below, I don't want to break anything. You can see I made some buildcraft gates. I made a bunch of lasers, probably like 40 of them or so, and made some quartz gates. And if we look at it, you can see if there's space in the mana pool, space for mana, then it's going to do a blue pipe signal. All right. The reason I'm using blue wires, I made too much of it. So yeah, be real careful when you click that button. Those get made really fast. So that just goes under the ground here, and then comes back out over here. You can see it kind of run through, and right now you can see it's glowing red because it's giving a redstone signal. So what it's saying is if there is no, or if the blue pipe signal is off, then give a redstone signal. Well, it's on right now. Or no, it's off. Is that right? Yeah. So it's off, so it's giving a redstone signal, which is keeping anything from running. And then back here, this is what makes enderIO pipes really, really nice. You can see we've got redstone pipes, or redstone conduits, item transport conduits, and energy conduits all crammed together in just one space, and I only have to really mess with one side of the activators here. Now, unfortunately, I have to use the activators because I don't have any other sort of block placer. Kind of the downside of going with red logic instead of what is it, red power or project red or blue power, because I don't have a block placer other than the autonomous activator, which is unfortunate because again it requires power. Now here's the weird thing about it. For this to place cakes, I couldn't get this thing to place cakes, so I went and did a search, and apparently a lot of people have had this problem. You actually have to aim high for it to place. If you don't aim high, it won't place a cake. If you aim low, which would be what you would think is that you'd want to aim down, it will not place if you aim straight out. It has to be aimed high, and there has to be a block above it. Does that make sense? Like if this block was not here, if I took this block out, even if I had aim high, it wouldn't place. There has to be a block above it. All right. So what we have is our autonomous activators. There's 10 Kikimers right now that I've made so far. I got to make some more. It just takes so long to make the damn runes that I need, because this thing, I got to replace this mana spreader. It just takes forever for it to do it. But then the Gaia mana spreaders, to keep up with this much power, not only do you need a Gaia mana spreader, but you have to have the proper lens on here. And this is the potency and velocity lenses. If not, it just does not keep up with how much mana these put out. Now, what this will do is this will come over here, and this just pretty much keeps it full all the time, and I don't have to turn anything on or turn it off, because like right now it's not running because this mana pool is full. If I activate the orchid, which I'm not running at full time right now because it's just I've got to get the farms to where they can keep up, and I've had to turn this will actually handle those 10 flowers down there will easily handle every 5 seconds. The problem I was having is I kept getting smooth stone in here because this would work faster than the orchid would. So I've got it to 7. I think 6 would probably be safe, but I'm still trying to get the timing down right and get that working correctly. But as far as the farms go, we'll take a look real quick. One of the problems that I was having, you can see I added a bunch of celestial stuff, these little celestial prisms over here, and they're all bound to this battery. Now right now it's 100%. Damn it, proved me wrong. Bastard. Normally, I would come back over here and this would be at completely 0, and that's no good. I mean, as long as I was here, it would charge, but as soon as I left, it would discharge. So you can see if let's get that out. So you can see, like right now, it's 250,000. So if we link this with that, this is really such a great thing. It's just getting it enough. Ethereum is the downside. You can see how much quicker it grows, and I tried a bunch of different ways to get this to grow faster, because if we fly over here and look below, yeah, you can see all these growth pulsers down here. I haven't finished the whole thing yet, but each one of these is a damn diamond. That's a lot of diamonds. That's several stacks of diamonds right there. Now, the rest of it is, a lot of it is this enderIO, which I have tons of this stuff, so I'm not worried about that. But, so if we look at it now, where are we? It's kind of going back up. It's taking care of it. looks like. I mean, it's handling this one. But if I add a second one, so now if I come in here and I say, let's link this one and this one, I really like how fast these things work. In conjunction with any of the other growth stuff, man, it's almost too fast. But if we come over here now, we can see it's not going to handle it. And it's going to call me a liar again. You son of a... Now it's going to handle both. I swear to God, yesterday, when I was setting all this up, it wouldn't do it. It would not do it. It just drained it out so fast. Probably because it's draining these. Yeah? No? You son of a... You gonna make me look stupid. Okay, so now it's draining this one. That's probably why. Once all these are drained, I'll bet you it doesn't keep up. So it's not draining that one yet. This one's drained. That one's almost drained. That one's drained. See, now this one's gonna go down. Okay, I was right. It just had a big buffer in there. So I'll bet now, it will, I swear. It does not handle it. It just drains it down. Okay, come on. Well, a little bit slower, but yeah, trust me. Once this buffer is gone, then you'll see this starting to go down too, and it's just not gonna handle it. So you kind of either have to have a massive field of these things, which we could do. I guess I could do another row of those back over here. They're except for the diamond caps, these are pretty cheap to make. I mean, this is just an obelisk with some chalk and some of those candles, so it's fairly easy to make. It's not bad. I was really tearing through the sugarcane too there because I made a mistake, and it was being sent to the trash can. The sugar being made, instead of going once the cache was full, it was going right to the trash can because I forgot to block that. So we lost a lot of sugar cane because of that. And over here we're growing mostly 3 of the 4 crops that are available in here are all the cow crops, and then we just have a small one with chicken because we're just not using as many of these. But even as fast as they're producing it, it doesn't keep up with the demand on milk. Wheat seems fine. Sugarcane probably would have been okay if I hadn't been flushing it down the toilet. But this one just, I don't know why, it just eats through the milk, probably because it's, what, 4 for, 12 per cake of those. So it's quite a bit. So I just got to get the farms kind of sped up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go make some more of those growth pulsers and get that thing kind of evened out. Probably make 3 or 4 more stacks of those, and then keep an eye on this. Are we going down yet? No, you're still keeping up. But it's going down. So we'll be back in a second, and I'm going to make some more stuff up and see if we can't get these farms going a little bit quicker. Okay. Some changes. Changes. This thing is, like I was saying before, sometimes I'll go out and I'll come back and it will be completely empty. Other times, because I left and it was going up and it was in the, 21, and I left for a little while and I came back and this was going up. You can see by the numbers there it was going up. But now it dropped again. But now that I'm back in the realm, it's working again. I did have 2, but I just put it down to 1, put it in the middle, so it's kind of getting both farms now. It sounds like it goes in 6 blocks in each direction, so I should be getting a good, just looking at the growth, it seems like it's doing a pretty good job. Without this, the current cake farm or take factory will put me at a loss. I'll be at a loss on pretty much everything. I got rid of the cow seed. Well, I didn't get rid of the cow seeds. They're still growing over there, but I'm not using them anymore. We'll take a look at that real quick. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. I can't turn it on this one. These grow so freaking fast with the with that powered that this will completely fill up, even with speed upgrades. I mean, this just grows crazy fast. So I'm just leaving it alone, letting it do its thing. It's gaining, even at full running that we're doing. One thing that I could do to improve this, instead of putting it through the easy crafting table, is I could run it through pulverizer, which I may do, because that will double it. Instead of 1, we'll get 2. And it's just a little bit of power, so I may do that. But if we go back over and look, what I did is I kind of put signage on everything, and just kind of looking at that and looking at this, I can see that it's a gain. Because originally, when I put the sign up, it was 114213. So you can see it's gaining there. So that's good. That's all good. We like to see gains. Doesn't even have to be a big gain, as long as I'm not going negative. I don't want to go negative. Up here, you can see that we're at a gain with the focus on, and here we're also at a pretty good gain with the focus on. Without the focus, I'll actually drop. Over here is the new cow buddy that we got. I should probably name him so he doesn't be... I'm surprised he didn't, because I forgot to chunk load this, and I came back and all my buckets were gone. All of them. They were completely out. So the way this thing works is... So, which one is this? Is the one that was making it. I've got that shut off and disconnected. So what happens now is there's... Well, what do we got? We've got Buildcraft, Thermal Expansion, Red Logic, Botania, and Ars Magica. Okay. What we have here is a quartz gate, and it's looking for items in inventory of empty bucket, okay, and it does a blue wire signal. The top one, if it gets a blue pipe signal, then it really shouldn't be blue pipe, it should be blue wire. Don't you think? That's not a pipe, that's a wire. So it's going to give a redstone signal. So when this gets a redstone signal, it's going to turn on, and it's going to pull that bucket out and drop it. And it's set to 3 buckets at a time. Now, the problem I was having is this is so fast that it wouldn't pulse this thing correctly. It just wouldn't pulse. It didn't matter how long a delay, it just wouldn't work. I mean, it would immediately shut off. So what I did is, this is a sear stone from Ars Magica, if you haven't used one of these before. I've got a lesser focus that gives it a 5-block radius. So 5 blocks is actually pretty far for something like this. You're talking, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anything drops in this area, this is going to activate, okay? And that's going to put out a redstone signal. So when these buckets drop, it's going to see that there's items in the world, and it's going to activate. So you'll see the little shiny thing there. Okay, so it's on. It comes up to the, this is not a null cell. This is, well, I don't know why it's showing a null cell. It's an inverted cell or invert cell. So what this does is, when it's given a redstone signal, it turns off the redstone signal in this direction, which allows this timer to run. But when it gets the redstone signal, or I'm sorry, when this is no longer giving a redstone signal, this turns on and shuts that timer off. If that makes sense. So this way, because I kept losing buckets no matter how I did it, I just kept losing. Well, that's not true. It works with this way. It does work this way. It's just I wasn't able to keep up with the cow essence. It just I would have to make a lot more farms to be able to keep up with everything, and probably make them much bigger. So trying to keep everything compact and easy to use hurts a little bit in this. I would suggest making bigger farms if I was you. But yeah, this is our little solution right here. It works great. This way we don't have to worry about it. We're just getting the milk from Mr. Cow here, or Mrs. Cow, I guess. This is Mr. Cow. That's not milk, and it's a horrible thought. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. But so Mrs. Gender non-specific cow. Use whatever restroom you want to there, buddy. This just takes care of all our problems as far as the milk goes, which was the major hurdle in this whole thing here. So now, with it running pretty much full, it's running full time. The quarry over here, if we get over here and take a look at the timer, it's running at 6 seconds. I leave it at 6 just because at 5, if there's any sort of timing glitch or burp in the world, you'll get smooth stone, and you don't want smooth stone. It's kind of a waste. But so even over here, just in case it happens again, I added smooth stone to the filter, so it gets pulled out and then sent into our system. So no big deal, even if I get it. Really don't even need to run that thing anymore. We've got a ton of ore for what we've done. I mean, I haven't done a very big quarry, and I've only done the frame quarry, which I think I showed already over in the mining world. So I mean, if you look at the glowstone, of course, we got from crops, but gold is all from, well, most of it. Some of it's from crops, but most of it is from the botania stuff, or quarry. This is all from, well, that's from the ender farm. This was from crops. We stopped growing those. That was from crops. But all this iron, most of this stuff, even the emeralds, I haven't grown emeralds except for using them with the essence with magic crops. But we just have tons of stuff that we, I mean, we're set for a while. We don't really need any more. Not really. I added another 5 flowers over to our setup over here, so you can see it's running now. And we can pretty much do whatever we want. I mean, this thing fills up quick. Let me just show you. I actually need to get some pixie dust for the next round. So let's take half a stack of diamonds, and let's take we'll do a full stack of these, just cause. And go back over here. Magnet should be off, so let's throw that down there. Okay, so you can see it bit into it a little bit. But let's just see how quickly it fills up now. Where's my, there it is. So it's still filling. Why is it still filling now? I need to get a bellows. No, I don't think a bellows would help that. Did it take that much out of there? Damn. But it'll actually fill up pretty quick now. The only thing I need to do is I need 5 more pixie dust. I only have 1, so I can make the other 5 flowers there. But you can see it'll go up pretty quick, much quicker than and it's running the orchid, so it's not If I turned off the orchid, that'd be much quicker. As you can see how fast that's going, just with 3 running right now. So it'll be back up to full before you know it. So what that allows us to do now is, if we're over fighting a Gaia or something like that, is I don't have to rely just on the ring. I can pull out the mirror and get mana that way. So I am finally happy with this thing. As of right now, if I can keep Ars Magica freaking flowing in powering that farm, that'd be awesome. Oh, one thing before we go that I wanted to mention: the seer stone requires power. Let me see if I can get back here. And it only takes light power. This is the only power it takes. Do yourself a favor, whenever you make something, click it and it'll actually show you what power it'll take. Because it'll be like detected light Ethereum or whatever. It'll say light Ethereum and then 0. And since if you click the seer stone, it only says light Ethereum. I kept trying to power it with an obelisk, and that didn't work. So, yeah. If you're going to use one of those seer stones for something, it will detect players, monsters. It's kind of an overall kind of detection device. Probably some pretty cool uses for it. You can even set it up with keystones, which I have not messed with yet, because, you know, I'm the only one on the server, so I don't have to worry about anybody getting in my stuff. So, Celestial Prism. I didn't put the whole thing. I just did the chalk rune just to give it a little bit more oomph, but it doesn't need too much because it doesn't use that much. It does run quite a bit, but it doesn't use too much, you can see. So guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for coming by. And if you're building your own cake factory, I hope this helped out. This is actually pretty cool. I really like this. It's too bad that the only mod that has this kind of item detection like this that is in this pack. In fact, I don't even... Are there any other packs that have a kind of an item detector like that? I don't think there are. Not that I'm aware of. So guys, I appreciate you again. Thanks for coming by. Hope this will help you out. Until next time, I will see y'all later.